Welcome to INS, the International News Service, your source for the most important weird news from across the globe. With news analyst Kevin Harrison, actor, comedian, and musician Mike Wiebe, and professional commentator Brian Camp. INS, the news you need.
What's up, Wig? That's a good look. Oh,
Okay.
I wore this to Mark's house
Oh, wow.
yesterday for
Oh.
his wife's Star Trek murder mystery party.
No,
Oh.
very nice.
For the listener, Kevin is wearing a plastic bowl cut wig
Mm-hmm.
with elf ears sticking out. Those are elf ears.
They're Vulcan ears.
They look more Romulan to me.
They look like southern drow elf.
Ah.
What's the difference between elf ears and Vulcan ears?
Vulcans can wiggle their ears.
Oh, that is true.
They're articulated.
That's a very logical answer, Brian.
Wait, I'm sorry. I gotta correct this. Is it that Romulans have round ears? Is that the difference between Romulans and Vulcans?
I thought Romulans were like Vulcan like offshoots or something.
I thought so, but I thought the way you could tell them apart was their ears. Maybe I'm wondering if I just
I don't know.
really. I'm wondering. I'm trying to cut off an angry email right now from someone who is furious that I would.
I loved your program until the discussion on Star Trek.
That's right. What kind of dumb motherfucker doesn't know what makes a Romulan and Vulcan different?
Vulcans are Star Trek. Romulans are Star Wars.
Oh, that must be what it is.
That's not right at all.
No, yes.
I don't know. In the Ferengi or Ice Pirates universe.
Mm-hmm. And there was a crossover event that had all of them in there.
Right. Looking for the third rock
Wow.
from the sun,
Yep.
which gave rise to the sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting too hot. I got to take it off.
Oh, is it heating your head up? It's like probably like a greenhouse on your head.
It's all like latex.
Mm-hmm. Well, I took you seriously for about
Wait,
2 minutes.
I think we're bearing the lead that there was a Star Trek murder mystery
That's
at
true.
Mark Ryan's house.
That's right. And you guys weren't invited, by the way.
Yeah,
I
wait
just-
a minute. That's the real lead, don't you think, Mike?
Well, I think they just knew that we would have figured it out immediately.
Right.
We're shot first and asked questions later.
Mm-hmm.
It's excuse me, it's phasered first.
A couple Kirks over here.
Yeah.
This is Next Generation. You'd have to be a couple Jean-Luc.
We exist in that
Picards.
universe.
Yeah, in fact, he died in another void in that universe, but can keep coming back. They can keep going in there and getting him out.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
I'll say this: I would have been Worf, and I would have punched everyone and stabbed them with my. I would have stabbed you with my baklava.
That's going to send an email for sure. What?
Tell me how it went down. Describe. the scene.
Yeah. Right.
Well, so we get there. Everybody's
Mhm.
kind of in uniform.
Do you have to pretend you're on a holodeck?
No, we were each sent an invitation. You gave us our
Okay.
role,
Mhm.
explained a little on the story, and then explained who each character was. And then when you show up and there's like a little map on the table of like the murder scene, the crime scene.
Who was killed
Well, nobody was killed, but a couple
in the story?
of guards were shot, were phasered.
Okay.
Oh, so it was a phaser, not
Well, I think
a
if
disruptor.
I remember right, it was a guard was phasered, and then somebody who is what they call an NPC, a non-player character,
Mhm.
named Dr. Ram Yulen also was phasered.
Were they killed?
No, just he was injured.
What about the guards? Were they killed?
Just injured.
Why did they ask them who did it?
Yeah. Why didn't you just wake them up and go, "What happened?"
With the guard, he was confused. He was
This is why we
disoriented.
weren't invited.
Mm-hmm.
And with Dr. Ram Yulen, he was part of the mystery. I don't want to give away too much.
Interesting. In
Yeah.
case there's other people sitting on their Star Trek murder mysteries.
This was in 1992 that this was printed. I mean, somebody could have been sitting on this for 30 years going, I can't wait until I
love that
have
you
8
played
friends.
a murder mystery from 1992. Had no one played it before, or was anybody there like, okay, I promise not to give it away? Or was this like fresh?
Dana said she played it in 1992, but she couldn't remember any of it. And she didn't get it right, so I believe that.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I remember seeing all those games in like Walden books that how to host a mystery.
Hell yeah,
Walden
Walden Books.
Yeah.
They had a good human sexuality section.
But what was weirdest to me
Art
is
books.
that in the only other themed one, there was a Star Trek themed one, and then apparently there was like a guiding light themed one.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Or was it? I think it was
Is
Guiding Light.
We're sure it wasn't Journal Hospital?
It might have been Days of Our Lives. Now that I say that.
Stefano.
Heather watches that show. There was one of those shows had like a demon. There was a ventriloquist doll. Passions. That's what
all
I'm
my
thinking of.
children. All my children themed murder mystery.
Oh.
I've never been to an honest to God murder mystery. Have you?
Who, me?
Last night?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think that people would suspect we would not be very much fun to have around.
Well, we'd figure it out too quick.
I'd like to think that's the reason. I want to believe, Mike, that that's the reason neither of us have been invited to a murder mystery.
I think it. I'm sure it is because it's just like, well, yeah, you're not going to invite, two master chess players into
That's
a game
right.
of checkers.
40 moves ahead.
Oh, this is a game of checkers? Well, guess what? I'm playing 4D chess
That's a different
in
game.
the fourth dimension.
That's a Star Trek game, right?
The 3D chess is Star Trek.
Well, he plays the
I
game.
saw,
Q plays.
and this isn't really jokey, but it was more. I saw 2 human dead bodies on this tour, and we hit a deer last night on the way in.
Oh no, man!
How was the deer? You're like, what?
Yeah.
Is it going to be okay?
I gave it mouth to mouth, but it didn't.
Mhm.
It did not survive. No, they say I have Lyme disease, is what they're telling me.
I was waiting for a disease or some kind of deer fetish. I knew it had to be one or the other had developed. Well, I'm sorry. Did y'all?
I gave it mouth to mouth and mouth to ass, and there was nothing I could do.
Did you salvage the animal, or
Nah.
you just left it there?
Well, I mean, I took a lot of the parts so I could put them, put acid on them and keep the bones.
That's right.
Just play around with them. No, it's scary. I was in the back, and I started like, and I look up, and there was a fairly decent sized, I guess, doe. It didn't have horns or antlers yet, and
A deer.
a doe, a deer, female deer.
That's right.
No.
And
Quitting.
it started to I don't know, we just kind of went right over the fucker, and I think it went to the side that the guy driving kind of like wisely, because you're never supposed to like swerve, I guess
Right.
they say, like, but he took a little bit to the left, but I mean we had a van and a trailer, so we would have fucked us up if we tried to do anything. Yeah, I don't know. And then there was like that long period of what the fuck happened, and you pull over and look at everything and go, well, that's that.
Yeah.
No, before then, I don't know that I've ever. It happened twice that I've like straight up pulled out past a dead person on the road. One was in a 2-lane road where we were backed up for a while. And we ended up going. It was in New Mexico.
They were already dead before.
They're already dead.
Okay. Right.
And there was just like a sheet on them.
Were they together? You say you saw 2. Were they?
Yeah. And then there was another one. The first one was somewhere in Arizona, and then the other one was in Seattle. And didn't see either one of them happen. But the other one was like a guy tried to run across a busy street and got hit by a UPS truck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man. They don't like the cops. Apparently they don't have big blankets in their cars. They've got very off-sized sheets. I guess this isn't fun start to a podcast.
Hey, way to bring it down. We're going to bring it back up, though.
We're going to bring it back up. I mean, yeah, I've never seen that before. Have y'all ever seen that?
Well, do you remember? Yes. Do you remember driving in Austin like years ago?
Oh yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
I think we were on Speedway.
Yeah, or airport. I think it was airport.
Yeah, it was airport, and it was way back when it was still like old style airport. And this guy,
airport's a road in Austin. Just for anybody outside of Austin.
And it was well before any kind of ride share. So it was a cab. It was like a minivan cab, right?
Yeah.
And this guy's trying to cross the road and just plows into him, and the guy flies, like he flew up over the van, right? Like the
this is the van you were in.
No, we were right next door. We just we were perfectly situated as though someone had made a movie and wanted us to watch a person get hit by a cab.
Yeah, it was center
crazy.
Framing. It was center framing for us. He flew up definitely taller than the in the minivan. And then I remember he had a backpack that flew up in, I don't even know, like in my memory, and this might be off, but in my memory, it was like as high as like a telephone pole. It got in height.
It was bizarre to see all that forward momentum immediately transfer into vertical momentum, and he just
upward. Yeah,
it was and
then he was okay though. I think
got up and walked away. Yeah, bizarre. Maybe he was on something. I don't know.
I'd like to be on some of that.
I'll have what the near dead man's having.
So you guys ready to get started here?
Oh fuck! Really?
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, you got a minute.
Wait. Hang on. Whoa.
Chill.
Hang on, guys. Hang on. Okay. Wait.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yep.
All right. Welcome to the International News Service. We're your hosts. I'm Kevin Harrison, along with...
I am Brian Camp.
I am formerly in country Mike Wiebe, back. What do you call it when you're out of country?
I think you're just home. I think you're home.
No, I'm talking the military man.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. I was never in, I think in country.
If you're in country.
He was on the water. There's no
I think
water country.
I think in country is you're inserted into...
Atlantis, you ever fucking heard of it?
Ever heard of it?
That's underwater.
If you're in country, that means you're like over there in that country.
Right.
Yeah.
But what do they call it when you're home?
Over there. Send the word.
I think you're just home.
Over there. Yeah. Stateside.
No, military have a word for everything.
Stateside.
Yeah. See?
That's right.
I'm stateside.
Shore duty.
But you were
Mike
never in the
Wiebe.
military.
The rock and roll army, the Kiss Army.
That's why you also had your... What's that part of your tongue that Gene Simmons supposedly had cut so he could stick his tongue out farther? The little...
little
for the listener, yeah.
Yeah, you
The reason
guys
you
know
couldn't
what
hear
it
me
is.
is-
It's the little connector to the tongue. Yeah, I had that removed so I can stick out my tongue longer. I had some ribs removed so I can suck my dick longer. And it was a good tie of like, I needed a little bit of both. I needed to get rid of one set of ribs and get my tongue just a little bit longer. And now I can do it. But
whoever made up the one rib, that's brilliant. I wish that it's one of those, that person is never going to get credit for the wonderful thing they made up.
And nobody's going to believe them. They're like, oh, hey, I was the first person who said that. And everybody's like, no, you weren't.
No.
That would be cool to say. You know, my dad's actually the guy that said that Marilyn Manson removed a rib to suck his own dick.
What a great obituary.
And then you take him home and there's a plaque.
That's right. Signed by, I don't know who would certify that plaque, but
Marilyn
there's
Manson.
got to be somebody. Probably Marilyn. Yeah.
Probably, it would have been Marilyn Manson, but also like an intermediary like Regis Philbin or
Right. That's
Pat
right.
Sajak, probably Pat Sajak or
Oh, he'd do it.
whoever's hosting Jeopardy now, Mayim Bialik.
Wink Martindale.
Or Ken Jennings. Who do you guys like more in the big Jeopardy debate?
I've not. You know what? I really
be careful what you say because you could really upset some
I wanted
people
to
if you
be
answer this
snarky
incorrectly.
and say something, but I'm just gonna be honest and go. I haven't watched it with either of the new people.
Yeah, that's true.
I do know that I'm the ideal choice.
You got to pick up the phone every now and then, Mike.
I feel like every year when they had that tournament of champions, once Ken Jennings was on it, everybody's just like, well, it doesn't matter. I guess second place is the best I could do. And so once he got hired as the host, everybody was like, hey, we can win the tournament of champions again.
Yeah, maybe. I don't listen. I only spend so much time getting my oil changed, so I don't watch Jeopardy that much.
So you probably only watch Press Your Luck. That's the only only game show you'll watch.
Yeah, I mean, that's old episodes though. Like I just rewatched that.
Right, sure.
And I just hope that there's going to be the Michael Jackson whammy. That's my favorite one.
The moonwalking
He does a
one.
moonwalk.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Have we talked about the guy who cheated Press Your Luck?
Oh,
I know
I
we've
think
talked
we
about it.
mentioned That would be a good
yeah, that's a good get to know your podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
Because I've watched that show before, and the thing is, as a former failed film director and producer, I realized like how hard it is to make a show where it's just like
don't sell yourself short. You're also a current failed film
that's
director.
true. Okay, that's current and former. But I realized like how hard it would be to just be like, hey, you guys play until you're out of spins. Yeah, you can. How do you edit that into 30 minutes every week?
Right.
Or every day?
Yeah.
You probably stretch out the animations.
Yeah.
Maybe he does a turn before the moonwalk.
And you just keep doing that forever. Yeah, he moonwalks one way, moonwalks the other way.
People clap in the hole. You just keep cutting to an audience, just losing their mind with how excited they are to see them.
No joke. I do remember me and my brothers getting really excited when it was the Michael Jackson whammy.
Well, that was still the era of, I get that reference. That was like, I totally know what that is.
Well, that was such a crazy one of like, when I was a little kid, I loved Michael Jackson, but in actuality, I just loved Beat It and Thriller because those were the only two things that I actually knew about him. I liked Beat It. Because of he was wearing a crazy outfit and it was like a gang fight. And that was cool. And then I liked Eat It, which was very funny, and that made me like Beat It more.
Right.
And then Thriller I liked a lot because it was like the only horror movie. It was like a really good horror movie that I was allowed to watch because it was not like a real horror movie.
Well, I like Thriller because of Vincent Price's voice.
That
was what drew me in initially, at least. It was like a horror movie, but at first it was just like, hey, is that Vincent Price?
Well, actually, a lot of people don't know this. This was Michael Jackson doing a Vincent Price impression.
Oh.
And a lot of people say that his real voice was a lot closer to. Ooh, hey, I'm abandoning that bit to tell you.
Yes.
No joke, because it feels like this is literally a month. So I literally got home last night. I've been gone for almost a month now.
That's a long tour, Mike.
Yeah. Well, and I'm counting like the first 5 days.
Right. The Colorado jaunt.
The Colorado jaunt. I got a Uber driver in Colorado, and it was a long drive from wherever we were to wherever I was going. And we started chatting, and I, he's like, "Oh, you're a musician," because I had a guitar or whatever with me, or whatever synth with me. And it turned out he like worked at some place and worked with Michael Jackson a number of times. And the first question I asked was, "You ever fuck that monkey?" No, I asked him. I asked him like, "Hey, did you ever hear him drop?" Because that's the thing I've been finding out more and more about Michael Jackson is that like that entire voice was a complete fucking sham. Like he had like a totally. I mean, did all the plastic surgery could make him look one way, but at the end of the day, his voice was this right. Low or lower. I know you guys are listening to me going like, is that the listeners are like, is that James Earl Jones on the podcast?
Right.
No, it's Mike Wiebe.
Very white.
But still, like that was like a complete and total stage affectation that I'm sure he pulled out in front of in a number of scenarios, but apparently he just would kind of, joke and go, "Come on, man," and stuff like that.
You know what? It makes it. What did the guy say? Did he say?
He said, yeah. He said, "Oh yeah, it was totally like." He said, "I heard him a lot." Trying to remember if he was a trumpet player or a saxophone player, or he was a guy. He lived in L.A. and he lived in Venice Beach, and he had like a rent control place forever. And it sounds like he had like he was like a session guy, and had some years that he made like a ton of money, and then some years that didn't really, stuff wasn't coming in, and he was an older dude and just moved to Denver. And he might have, it was one of those things. Jeff Humper was in the Uber with me, and we at one point when he first said Michael Jackson, I think we both kind of looked at each other like whatever. But then the more he filled in about his life, the more legitimate it was, because there wasn't ever anything like I don't know. I've been around enough pathological liars and liars that just like attention. Brian waved his hand.
That's right. Both times.
That to kind of get a sense for. I mean, I might be wrong about this, but I feel like it was real. Like if he was lying, there was no gain to it, and he didn't include anything that made him, other than maybe me specifically asking about the voice thing. There wasn't any oh yeah, I saw him fuck kids all the time or anything like that. Like there was nothing like. I don't even think that came up. He's like, yeah, that was years later. I didn't.
Did he tell you that Michael removed his lowest rib so he could suck his own dick?
He said that he actually got ribs added to stop sucking his own dick.
Wow.
No, you're right though. If he didn't the obvious thing to do is like try to get you to sense that maybe he does know Michael Jackson, and then launch into some, you wouldn't believe what I saw happen to kids at that place, right? Didn't do any of that, right?
No, it was real just like, there was a bunch of references he made about LA things and then in the music industry and people that he worked around and things that were like that I know enough to know that they were real, but they're not like super, just weird stuff about like the guy from Toto that also worked on this and did that. Very like just kind of like I'm a session guy kind of stuff. But
that's a pretty small network of people, right?
Yeah, I think it is pretty small. And I don't think he played on any of the Michael Jackson albums except for like maybe something that was like recorded live or something like that. But I think there is some video. I'll try and snag a clip of Michael Jackson accidentally dropping his voice. He like comes out and is like, "Yeah, I just want to thank I just want to thank." It was a good time in life when you could really impress a crowd with a Michael Jackson impression.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm Michael Jackson.
we're probably racking up new listeners right now. There's probably
it's like he's on the show.
I got a kid named Blanket. Let's do the entire rest of the show all doing Michael Jackson impressions.
No, I don't have it in me. I think.
Next week.
What else is in the news, Kevin?
Welcome to the International News Service. We're your hosts. I'm Kevin Harrison, along with
we've already done this.
Wait, we already did that?
I'm Mike
Brian
Wiebe,
Camp. Yeah,
I'm Mike Wiebe, and I hate Bigfoots.
So this week we've got two news stories, a bonus story for our Patreon listener, and Mike has a new segment or a road story. Which is it, Mike?
We're gonna close out the road, tales from the road, because I'm back, baby.
Well, we got to start Halloween. We got to Halloween it up after this, right?
Yeah. So we did I should say we did a bonus story last week. I don't like to do them 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I hate doing that.
But we're doing it 2 weeks in a row so that we can have 3 stories for Halloween. I've got 2 picked out. Just got to grab one more, and we will be ready to go. And that's next week.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Vincent Price, right?
Ghoulish.
Is that your Vincent Price?
Yes. Ghoulish. How does Vincent Price talk?
It's not like that. It's not. I'm like just a really creepy Eastern European. Like I don't know. That's
That's a little more Peter Lorre, I think.
Better say a little bit of a lisp on there, maybe.
Like a sleazy Peter Lorre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I learned about him in cartoons. Speaking of cartoons, anyway, sorry.
So our first story comes to us from the Irish Times.
God bless them. And the times, they are a-changing.
25 hours on an Irish clock.
Actually, a story about England, but it's from the Irish Times.
They're probably talking shit about those fuck humps.
If the M. Night Shyamalan film Signs taught us anything, it's that crop circles are terrifying. Now, farmers in England have something new to fear from crop circles: bankruptcy. It seems that between 2018 and 2022, 92 crop circles in English fields, impacting about 40 soccer fields worth of crops, or as they call them in England, football pitches. The wheat and barley lost.
They sound like, you know what? Why they sound like a bunch of Michael Jacksons over there.
I mean, we got some UK listeners now. I'm just saying.
Oh, hey, what's up, you guys? They're expats. There are probably a lot of them.
Right.
I bet. No, hey, what's up, UK listeners? We're goofing around.
I feel like I feel like our UK listeners were on the side of England during the American Revolution, but during the War of 1812, they switched sides and were like, I like this United States thing.
Oh, yeah. They were probably cool with us walking across.
Yeah. They probably gave me a pass to sneak into that Rolling Stones show.
Probably. They probably heard about your love of Oasis. And
that's true.
I do love Oasis.
You know what? Yeah.
So the wheat and barley lost could have made 300,000 loaves of bread, and the flattened rapeseed could have produced 600 liters of canola oil.
These are some big ass crop circles. Are they got cool designs?
I mean, there's 92, so they vary. Some of them are just circles, and some of them are like, the cover that Led Zeppelin.
Did you say this was in 1992? Was it 92?
92 in the last 4 years.
Oh, 92 total.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Let me ask you this. How recently have they gotten the TV show X-Files over there? Because this might be guerrilla marketing.
I mean, it was on Fox, so they probably had it exactly the same time that we did.
But there's like a delay, though, right? Like a tape delay or something, or like a
there's like a tape. You
got to put it on the reel to reel and get it across.
Yeah,
I mean that's a whole.
This might be guerrilla marketing.
I mean, for a show that came out how long ago?
30 years ago.
Okay, it could be delayed. It could be guerrilla marketing for the box set that they're going to sell.
Syndication, box set.
And the H&P or whatever they call the British Walmart. There's got to be.
They call it Pippin Pringles.
So where was it?
You're probably right.
Since the invasion of Ukraine, grain prices have shot up over 30%, and a single crop circle can destroy 3 to 4 tons or 1,300 to 1,800 kilos of crops.
Do they spell tons Tonnes?
Yes, that's how they spell them.
They're insane over there.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
They're fucking nuts.
So these can't be harvested because harvesters can't gather wheat that's within 15 centimeters of the ground because there might be rocks and stuff that they would hit. So it would break the harvester if it went too low.
Ooh, why don't they make them out of Nerf or something?
Yes.
Then they wouldn't cut the wheat.
Why don't they make the entire crop circle out of the black box?
I think you mean the harvester.
Sure, that too. Make all of it out of the black box.
So and then sightseers come in and trample even more wheat trying to see the circles.
This is one of those. There's very few times that I will celebrate certain aspects of American culture, but if people were bringing big boards and dragging them through fields here, I think they'd get shot like almost immediately, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. This is purely a trespasser on our land. It's costing the big ag tons of money. Although,
it might not be. There's a lot more family farms in England. Anyway, one farmer said he lost thousands of pounds in income from an area he'd spent hundreds fertilizing and planting. He added that he never contacted
pounds
police.
Of coins or pounds of paper money.
He was weighing out all his money, and he's like, "Oh shit,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of dough.
That's a lot."
Well, maybe you just don't keep your money in fucking silver dollars,
right?
Or fucking pence pieces or whatever. Oh, it's all quid and pence.
I'll keep it all in halfpennies.
I have no halfpenny. Will a halfpenny do?
So he added that he never contacted police because he thought they'd just laugh at him. While the farmers seemed to doubt that this was caused by aliens, about 2/3 of England's crop circles appear near Stonehenge and on ley lines that connect it to other ancient archaeological sites.
No, like the Nazca lines.
Well, that's in Peru, and those are drawing out. Those are the sites.
Are you saying there's no ley lines connecting Stonehenge and Nazca, Peru?
Yes, I am saying that definitively.
Interesting.
100%.
So I invite the listener to dispute.
So you don't think that ley lines are worldwide?
I think you could draw lines between any two archaeological sites, but
that's a good way to identify ley lines. What you described is an excellent way to discover where ley lines are. You find two sites of ancient peoples, ancient prophecies, ancient magics.
I can draw a line between you and Mike right now, and that's not a ley line. I mean, that's just me drawing a line.
Yeah, because it's not glowing. It's not glowing white.
Right.
Ley lines glow white.
Right.
Everybody knows that.
Now, you might be interested to find out that Mike and I both have chosen homes that exist on top of ley lines. So there's probably some sort of connection.
It's some sort of network that's getting. If there's not a direct line, there would be, a very quick series of byways and highways of ley lines to get from one to the other.
Now, what are those connecting?
Energy.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what archaeological sites?
Spectral energy.
That's not a site.
The Gateway to Hell in Stoll, Kansas.
With what?
Nazca. Nazca is a good central nexus for lots of major ley line activity.
The one you talking about, the place that's thousands and thousands of miles from where you're at right now.
Yes, lines connect A to B. we're on that line.
Yeah, A to B,
A to
B
B.
to A. They go back and forth both ways.
Both ways.
Hey, Kevin, think about it like a telephone line. How a telephone line connects through a series of wires all the way to another part of the country. Think of it, but think about
more like a web,
a telephone line.
It doesn't go in a straight line. That goes in all kinds of
it
circuitous
could, if it's close enough, it could go very. If there's not a lot of other telephone lines for it to split up,
I mean, I think if you had two cans,
like if you're driving across New Mexico, let's say, you'll just see one pair of telephone poles that are going alongside the highway for miles and miles as you drive through west of the Rockies in the high desert.
No, that's true. And, Kevin, if it does web out, that's just the effect of other ancient sites of supernatural power and centers of supernatural energies connecting with others. And so it creates just like a phone would a web. And if you're on one of those,
it's just the telephone company rerouting, sending you through routers and switchers on your way to where you're calling.
Yes, but this is the arcane supernatural versions of that.
No, that's not how that works at all.
It's
in fact the exact opposite of how that works.
Well, point being, me and Brian, both of the places that we live at. The reason I moved out of town
in Bastrop.
Well,
right.
I moved out because I wanted a more energy based, and I found like an old artifact that was out there, and then that's where I built my house on top of.
What was that artifact that you built your house on top of?
It was a Dairy Queen.
That's right. I thought you moved it was an old graveyard. They moved the tombstones,
but they left the bodies. And then it was a Dairy Queen, and it was a Dairy Queen that a bunch of people died in from eating poison blizzards.
Ooh.
Wow!
Well, you got to clean the machine every night.
Yeah,
I know.
That's true.
They didn't do that, and the guy didn't do it on purpose because he was sort of a religious cult guy. So I've got the original gravestone situation on top of all the mass blizzard deaths, and then there was a guy that cut off his dick for a YouTube video right there, like right before we opened up that house. So he's still alive, so that's not a ghost thing, but I do occasionally see a floating severed penis glowing, floating through the woods. And some people say that it might be teens out there that are fucking, that got themselves some glow in the dark condoms and are just running around. Either way, it's still horrifying and frightening, but I wanted to live somewhere with arcane energies.
Right. It's the price you pay to be connected to the other worlds.
Yes. So I want to be able to commune with the other side. And what I mean the Aerosmith song, "Take me to the other side." I know how I find ley lines.
Dowsing sometimes.
Dowsing. Okay. I'm a dowser. You stick your finger, you lick your thumb, and you put your thumb up into the air in the wind, and you ask for Freya, the goddess Freya, to point you in the direction of the ley line, and your hand should shake and then move in certain directions. If you fasted for 4 days and only drank goat urine. So that's a simple way to do it. But how did other people know that there's ley lines in England? I've never tested that out over there, Kevin.
I think people just started drawing lines between different sites and going, all these things are connected.
That would be illegal. They would go to jail. They would be in jail by now.
They drew it on maps.
You seem like a real SP right now.
Yeah. So wait, what else? Is there more to the story?
No, that's it. We can go to the next story.
Well, how are these farmers going to recoup their monies? They're not. Many pounds of monies.
So they can't really, like, their insurance tends to be like $10,000, like a $10,000 deductible, and so usually the stuff isn't worth claiming.
Have any groups of people with lots of spare time issued any apologies? Perhaps has there been a decrease since this news has become public? Is this a story we can track, Kevin, to see if this is something that we'll see a fewer number of crop circles? Do you think the aliens who are leaving these crop circles will take into account the financial damage they're wreaking on these poor farmers and not damage their crops with oddly flattened shapes.
I do wonder who is still out busting their ass to do crop circles in 2022.
Yeah.
And why. And like, it seems like a lot of work. Like, it doesn't seem fun.
Yeah, it is. You hit the nail on the head for the best evidence that this could ever be aliens is just because, like, some of these are so meticulously planned that why it's not humans could never do this. It's just like, why would you waste that much fucking time?
Why would humans ever do this?
But apparently they do.
It's like all the stupidity of a flash mob that nobody ever sees.
Yeah. And a flash mob is way easier to do. You know, like, I mean, once you get everybody together, it's real quick. And this seems like it takes real mathematical effort to figure out how to do these.
But maybe that's the fun. I just think it's too bad that mom and pop farms are being shut down all over England.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care about that.
Well, I didn't say shut down, but
that's not the problem. It's that people are wasting their time. I get it. I see where you're coming from.
It's that time is being wasted. That's what fucking pisses me off. Be doing something productive, you know? Start a wiki, start a fucking Reddit, INS Reddit page.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You could do that.
Well, I'm too busy. Right. I don't have crop circle time on my hands.
That is a good standard measure of free time. Do you have crop circle time? Probably not.
Yes.
That's maybe when I retire, I'll have crop circle time.
Yeah.
If that ever happens.
Crop circle time is similar to having fuck you money.
Okay.
Right. Or guess I'll just do a bunch of heroin time.
Yeah. It's like I've got so much time. I can do the most frivolous, stupid thing possible with it.
Right.
All right. So our next story comes to us from the Intercept.
I love it when stories just peter out. That's the best way.
Our next story comes to us from the Intercept.
Oh, the Intercept. That sounds like a Mad Max car.
Last of the VA Interceptors. Be a shame if it blew up. Bum, 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 bum.
In the 1980s, the CIA became infamous for its long history of arms sales and drug trafficking to fund its operations. Today, the CIA still funds some of its operations, but it does that in a more transparent way with venture capital. As a result, the CIA has recently funded a Dallas-based biotechnology company called Colossal Biosciences that has a mission, quote, to see the woolly mammoth thunder upon the tundra once again.
I'm all for that.
Did I tell you all that I went to the La Brea Tar Pit?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I said it was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I'm actually a mammoth expert. So continue. I'll have a lot of thoughts on this.
I'm excited. Colossal uses CRISPR gene editing technology to sequence a perfect genetic code from existing mammoth DNA. And then the hope is that they can build that DNA strand and clone it in a lab. The CIA says the goal of its venture capital fund is to fund technology startups with the potential to safeguard national security, and that this will quote allow U.S. government agencies to read, write, and edit genetic material, and that it will enable the U.S. quote to help set the ethical as well as the technological standards unquote. However, it said nothing of the potential mammoth human hybrid super spies that could be created using this technology. The company said that it also plans to resurrect the thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger.
Hell yeah.
That's good.
Yes.
Bring him back.
I want one. I'd love a Tasmanian tiger.
Me too.
They're not really pet animals.
They will be when I edit their genes. I used to know a gene editor.
Yeah.
It was Gene Siskel.
Oh.
I was gonna say, like, think how potent you would be after you ate the Tasmanian tiger's genitals.
Oh, god damn!
Yeah.
You would have a glowing dick, and you could run around the forest.
You'd be glowing, right? It'd be like a gallon of horny honey all at once.
Some other investors in Colossal read like a list of supervillains and include billionaire conspiracy theorist Peter Thiel, self-help guru and borderline cult leader Tony Robbins, heiress and reality TV star Paris Hilton, and the duo that got Armie Hammer famous, the Winklevoss twins.
Oh yeah, I love them Winklevoss boys. I don't, but they did tweet at me one time. I tweeted something about how I needed some Batman rogues gallery type hiring. I was hiring thugs, and I was like Two-Face style twins. You always gotta have you gotta have twins. And I said, no Winklevoss. And then one of them tweeted at me like, "Oh, come on, man." I was like, maybe I kind of like you now.
What is it about? I feel like we've talked about Armie Hammer before.
I'm 100% fucking cannibal. There's a documentary out about him, and I haven't watched it because I'm afraid I'm going to find out what he did is so awful that I shouldn't be making fun of him texting someone, "I'm 100% fucking cannibal," which is so funny to me.
I look forward to the episode where you have to apologize while we berate you for making fun of.
I will never apologize.
I don't see that happening. No,
I will pre-accept your forgiveness, but I will never apologize.
And now this is a bit of a stretch, Kevin, but I do wonder. We've talked a lot about Dallas, and this isn't the first time we've talked about
who shot JR.
Who shot JR? Some sort of colossal or very rare beast, or a beast that we don't really see around anymore. We know that there was a statue of a mind flayer recently in
That's like
Dallas.
a year ago.
Is there some chance that this is also a dodge to create or to bring back a race of mind flayers? And do we need to be worried about that? If that's
Brian,
what's happening?
To date, no one has ever found mind flayer DNA. But we know I think they did because we know what they look like.
Yeah, because if you know what they look like, you don't know what a thing looks like without knowing what its DNA looks like. I mean, that's the basic. Like that's a small. If you can see a whole thing, then you know what's in it. I mean, scientists they know what that is.
I've seen pictures of dinosaurs, but there's no dinosaur DNA.
Yeah, there is. It's in a fucking amber thing. It's in actually it's in a mosquito. It's in a mosquito.
There's a whole set of documentaries about it.
Yeah.
You're talking about the movie Jurassic Park.
It's a movie. It's a movie based on a real thing.
It's based on a Michael Crichton book.
Documentary movie. Michael Crichton, famous documentarian.
Right, Michael Crichton, the fictional author and climate change denier.
Right, because he's a real scientist. Haven't you read The 13th Warrior? That's all true too.
Have you ever read The Andromeda Strain?
The part about Gilgamesh.
You think of fucking. Some guy that writes Marvel movies could write The Andromeda Strain.
Mm-hmm.
No, he never wrote Marvel movies. He's
That's what I'm saying. He's smarter than those Marvel movies. Those are dumb movies. He writes smart movies like Sphere.
Sphere. It's a pretty good book.
Well, what about Runaways with Gene Simmons and Tom Selleck?
It's a great movie.
I haven't seen that. Is that good?
Yeah, it's awesome. Gene Simmons is a bad guy, and there's robot spiders that Tom Selleck has to shoot in a future that looks quite a bit like our far past.
Is Kirstie Alley the love interest in that?
I don't know.
Alley, did she get famous on Cheers, or was she already famous?
She'd done work, but she got real famous on Cheers. She'd done plenty of stuff, but her fame came from Cheers.
You think Shelley Long hates Kirstie Alley?
Oh, it is Kirstie Alley. She was in that movie.
Oh, The Runaways?
I think Shelley Long left on her own accord. So I don't think there's like of course everybody has an ego and you don't like that, the next person to do as good or better. But so I don't know. I doubt she does. Because Cheers is a weird show. Like, they had two really major central character casting shakeups.
Well, Coach left to be in movies. And then
I thought he died.
No, he died.
What?
Coach?
What about all those movies he was in?
Name one.
I feel like there's
Fat City, directed by John Huston.
Oh, John Huston of Key Largo fame.
Yeah, it's the same John Huston.
I knew a movie, you assholes. Look at that. Look who knew something.
My name is John Huston. I forgot. Coach.
Oh yeah, he's the dad in Chinatown too, right?
So yeah, that's right.
Ah man, that guy sucks.
He played Gandalf in the animated Lord of the Rings that they had when we were kids. An animated Hobbit as well.
Bakshi?
Fly, you fools.
Sting.
So if you were gonna bring back a creature from the dead,
fingers
what would you bring back?
of doom.
Oh, no.
Where there's a whip, there's a way.
There's a way.
So if you guys were going to bring back a long dead extinct creature, what would you bring back?
Mind Flayer.
I don't think that's a good idea, Brian.
No, I bet
gonna kill you and take over.
They would owe their allegiance to me. I would use some of that Crispin Glover DNA and make it.
Crispin Glover, what?
Like Crispin Glover DNA, the thing they're doing with to create them.
Mind Flayers aren't related to Crispin Glover.
No, but that's the process you use. That's what you use Crispin Glover DNA transfer.
Get your damn hands off her.
I'd bring back a dodo, maybe.
That's what I was thinking, dodo, because supposedly they're like really nice.
I bet they taste so good.
Oh, come on.
Well, there's a reason I'm not here anymore.
You're just bringing back
I think they just killed them for fun, right?
Really?
I think they did because they were super tame. Like, there's a lot of animals like that. Like, Darwin in Voyage of the Beagle talks about going to this island where they had these wild dogs that were just super friendly and would like cuddle up with the men as they slept at night. And because people are awful, they just murdered them all.
Man, that pisses me off.
Yeah.
I don't know. The dodo.
That would be good.
It would be good. Especially like, big, nice bird like that. Because they didn't eat them, did they? They just killed them, right?
I don't know what the history behind the dodo's extinction is.
I didn't feel good that we killed that deer last night.
You could bring it back.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Like Reanimator style. You need some glowy injection stuff.
Maybe there's a place you could take the deer and bury it or something. There might be some kind of...
Round's gone sour.
Ground sour.
Oh, McMendian.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It's cool sometimes to see people who have disappeared so magically and beautifully into a role get another opportunity to play another, like a character. You forget that it's like...
You're talking about Fred Gwynn?
Yeah, Fred Gwynn.
I was going to maybe save it for the arts and film corner, but I'd like to read some of the reviews of the new Munsters movie.
Well, that is not the Munsters. That's the Munsters movie. Totally different. It's not Munsters Go Home, which is a great movie.
All right, go ahead and read. Just give us a couple snippets for Brian.
And not everybody initially appreciates or understands great art. I think we all can agree with that. People are just now getting pissed.
Oh yeah, we do agree with that, Brian. Mm-hmm. Very much.
Honest movie reviews. Rob Zombie's The Munsters is cheesy and not in a good way.
Well, he's just got an axe to grind. He probably didn't like House of a Thousand Corpses either.
It's like it's like Magnolia, but with the Munsters, and it's bad and feels longer. Like watching a porn parody without the sex. The longest 109 minutes of my life. I don't think Rob Zombie knows what comedy is. Cool, he made a movie for his kids, I guess. Recreation of the intro was neat. The equivalent of watching a friend's home movies. Mostly funny only for them and way too long. A movie for a literal 5-year-old. A vanity project with no regard for what any other human being on the planet might enjoy. Looks like it was made for less than the budget of a high school theater department. Absolutely shocked by two things in this film. One, Herman Munster didn't call someone a cocksucker. Two, I didn't hate watching this at all. There's one good review.
Oh, I didn't hate watching
but it. Also,
that's quite a review. That's quite a compliment.
So,
This is anytime something is this hated, I'm a little intrigued.
The positive review. It's not a complete shit show, but it's definitely not good either. So that's not like totally bad.
That's it. I'm gonna watch it.
So our next story is a bonus story.
Fred Wynn's legacy is not so cool.
Bonus.
Did you have something to add?
I didn't write any of those reviews. I did not write any of those reviews at all.
I have nothing
I haven't even
to add.
seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Yet? Aha. A fan. I hear.
I'm a fan.
How does that make him a fan?
I might watch it. I might watch it, and I might have to review it. We'll see what the fucking news department
I hear Dragula's in it, so I'm gonna see it.
How are they going to slam through the ditches or burn all the witches?
So our next story is a bonus story. If you want to listen to it, go to our Patreon and subscribe at least the $3 level. That's the Knights of Kevin level. And you get access to this and all our other bonus stories. We've got quite a few up there now.
I think that's about 3 pounds to our British friends.
We've got stacks of INS bonus stories.
Why is everything so weight related in England?
What do you got? You got pounds?
You got pounds. You got stones.
Well, stone is weight either way.
Yeah, but no, that's I think they call it that because when you smoke pot, you get stoned, and then you eat a whole bunch.
Wow.
Crack the code.
So I'll give you a little taste. This next story has to do with football. That's American football.
Oh, the real football?
The real football that we don't watch either way. But one of us does.
I watch the gridiron every fucking Sunday. I don't really watch the game so much, but there's an animated robot that does a dance before and after.
You mean Cletus?
Yeah, and I really like that. I'm hoping they're going to develop more of a storyline around him, and I keep watching to see.
Is he ready for some football?
That's Bocephus.
He's programmed to be ready for football.
Does he go against programming? That would be a great movie where Cletus rebels and is not prepared for a football game. Gains digits.
So this story has to do with football and nuclear annihilation.
Nuclear football. I already know what it is.
No, it's not nuclear football. So
that's what they call the football, right? If I've seen a Tom Clancy movie.
They call football.
You have the football?
No, but don't they call it the nuclear football?
The president has the football. Yeah.
The president has the football, yeah.
The president has the football.
It's like a thing that has the codes to the nuclear weapon.
Right.
Yeah, no, this isn't that nuance.
You've never seen a Clancy?
I think I saw The Hunt for Red October.
Oh, you saw the Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, everybody saw The Hunt for Red October.
Yeah, it's hard. I think it was more than 30.
Probably.
Yeah.
Jack Ryan. Or is it Jack Russell? What's his name?
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Jack Russell's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think he's pretty cute.
So, Mike.
Yes.
What do you got for us from the road?
Well, and actually, Mark Ryan was there for this one.
Oh.
Actually, Mark Ryan, I think, was there for the time I came in my pants too, but he didn't really have much to offer because I didn't tell him about that. I don't know if he knows that.
Oh, well, he knows now because he's edited that episode
now, but right. I don't know if he's aware that happened.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe some pieces clicked together in his brain?
Yeah.
Like to hear that story is like, that's what happened. Like he's finally.
That's why when I picked up his pants, they didn't move at all. Well, on that same trip, it was at the very end. Uh-huh. We played a show in Belgium, and it was the second to last show. And I'm trying to remember the scenario. It was something like we had to play that night, and then we had to get up at like 8 a.m. and drive all fucking day in one of the most uncomfortable vehicles I've ever been in, and then get to the venue, unload, play, and then load back up, and then drive that night like another like 9 hours and get to like maybe not 9 hours, but like 7 to 8 hours, drive overnight, get to an airport at like 5 a.m, and then get on a plane and then go all the way back to America. So it was going to be like, I really was looking forward to sleeping, having a good night's sleep in Belgium, because that was kind of going to be the last sleep for like, a good 48 hours ish.
Right.
And roughly 48 hours. But, so we play a show, stellar as always,
Sure.
Flawless performance.
Oh yeah.
People loved it. A lot of sexual energy was put out by our performance.
You came in your pants again?
No. This time I was making other people.
Oh, I see.
Engorged with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Obviously.
Blood.
A lot of donkey dicks going around.
Let's just say that people were doing shots of horny honey between songs.
Oh.
I'm assuming every single person got laid that night because I know for a fact the door guy got laid, and that is not the type of position that gets ladies. And I know the door guy got laid because he did it.
You were the door guy a lot of times.
No, I know that he got laid because he got laid within arm's length of me. And they had a little room for all the bands for the band to stay in, and it was just a series of bunk beds, very uncomfortable, small bunk beds. And I was really trying to get as much sleep in as humanly possible. And I go and lie down. We all go lie down. It's just this little one room. Everybody's in there. And then at some point I hear fumbling and knocking through, and like the door guy has come into the band room where we're all sleeping, and he's got himself a lady, and they're French kissing, Frenching. They are from Belgium, which they should be doing Belgian kisses, which are different from French kisses. And I know this because one time I was reading a GQ article on Jean-Claude Van Damme, and they talked about Belgian kisses, which is where when you kiss, you stick your tongue out and you just leave it in their mouth, and it just sits on top of the tongue.
It's like the was it with the Mormons soaking?
I guess so. I
mean,
mean,
the tongue soaking.
Frenching, there's like moving around stuff. The tongues are flitting in and out. Belgian, they just go in and stay.
They still talk? Is it like, oh, the high film tonight? Like, is there any
Do you
of that?
talk when you kiss?
I mean, maybe if my tongue's not doing anything else.
How do you kiss?
I mean, I know Belgian kiss.
Have you ever? We
gotta get to the bottom of this.
Have you ever kissed before?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Well, these guys were not Belgian kissing; they were French kissing.
Okay.
And it was kind of one of those, but it was real bad because they were both real lit, and it looked like whenever you're holding a glass and you're kind of drunk and you're trying to get the straw to go in, you're just kind of like moving it around trying to get those real. And they're like slamming up against the beds and stuff, like all Al Pacino and Body Heat are in a Sea of Love, you know?
Wow.
And they go and they like flop down in this bed, right? So I'm laying down and the bed is long ways in front of me. So if I were to reach up, literally, if I were to just stretch my arms out up towards my head, I would have been able to reach their feet. And they're going at it. And I'm thinking, this is really uncomfortable. One, because it's loud. Two, it's just weird to have sketchy Belgian strangers in your room while you're trying to sleep. Because, you know, I got my bags there. I'd stolen a lot of diamonds from
Antwerp.
And, you know, I got all my stuff in there, all my valuable T-shirts and whatnot. I had a little DVD, a personal DVD player with 7 or 8 DVDs.
Ooh. You got to hang on to that.
This is 2001, by the way.
Right.
And these two, they're going at it, right? And I start to hear these sounds. They sound like a thawed out wet steak, you know? And you just like slapped it against the window, you know? Like, kind of thing. Kind of the way like I think a mind flayer would talk, really.
Okay.
A lot of tentacles and flopping.
Okay.
I was like, you know, Mike, you're in a foreign country. Let these people express their love the way they do. They don't have your square, uptight, Puritan, Midwestern upbringings holding back their authorities. Sex is just a thing that happens.
Right. You
should be cool with that. And then I just kept hearing the slurping, the otherworldly sounds of the Lovecraftian noises that were making me start to go gray and insane. And I realized that I you know, my head just started moving up out of its own accord, despite my brain saying, no, probably don't want to see this, because there were not a lot of blankets at this venue. Because I had to go steal some, because it was cold, and I had to steal some blankets from some of the other beds. I think from that bed. And finally I looked up, and, you know, there's a shot in a porn film that we've probably all seen where it's very
I've never
cynical.
watched such things. Well,
if you ever do, if you ever get around to watching, I have some I can recommend. It was, you know, it's a shot of just like a bobbing male buttocks with the under part, and then you can see the shaft entering.
Okay.
It's not sexual, really. I mean, it is. It's obviously the most sexual, but when you're that close up to it, it's not really that sexual. And it's going in and going out, and you know, you see that image a lot in porn movies, but what you don't see, because it's not a function of sight, is you don't smell. There's a smell that goes along with that.
Well, that's true, yeah.
And in this case, the smell was curdled milk. Dank curdled milk. And like looking up to, you could see like this fella was real hairy, right? And it looked like when Slimer hits Peter Venkman or something, and he's just covered in when like all the wet hair is like stuck and does like weird curves because it's like stuck on there. And I was like, all right, well,
like an ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
And he had not finished yet, I might add, too. Like there was just stuff happening.
This was processed liquid.
Yeah, this was pre-ejaculate, maybe? I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you know what? I don't know. I've never studied Belgians. Maybe Belgians, start to just leak lube out of their inner thighs when
they do kiss different.
So then I go and I wake up our tour manager, who, I mean, I think I was the closest, so it woke me up. Some of the other guys I think were either drunk and didn't want to deal with it, or just completely asleep. But I woke up and was like, hey man, these guys they're really, really fucking, and it's really loud and smelly, and I'm not really comfortable with this. And I felt bad, and part of me was like, man, I'm a literal cock blocker right now. And I guess not literal, because I didn't actually go up and go whack it out of the way like a goalie.
I've had enough of you.
Aha! Good shot, Wayne Gretzky, but not good enough. And he went over there and he started talking to him, because the other thing is, like, Belgian, there's a lot of Europe speaks English, but this dude, like, I didn't know. There's a lot of people in Belgium that did not speak English, so it's like, will you go tell them? And he's just like, and he sits there and he starts putting on his pants, and he's all covered in slime and shit. And she's like, oh, I am very sorry. And I'm like, hey guys, I'm really, like, I was really apologetic. I was like, hey, I'm sorry. It's just that we got to get up early in the morning, and just, it's really, I just kind of need it to be quieter in here, and I don't know any of you guys. And she's like, oh, I understand it. It's fine. I am fine. I totally understand. It is cool. I'm so cool with this, but he is not. And then he gets up and just starts screaming at me, and he's shouting at me, and he's still putting on his fucking tight, because he's wearing like Speedos. He had like Speedos that he was wearing, and he's trying to get them back on, and he's got a weird fucking slick circumcised dick flopping around in there, and he's just like, fuck you, you fucking asshole, you fucking son of a bitch, he's just cussing me out. He's like, fuck you. And I'm like, well, fuck you too, man. I'm trying to go to sleep in here. And we start saying fuck you to each other. And it's like a weird situation, because it's this tiny, I mean, it's like some Das Boot level, hallway between beds and stuff.
Are people waking up at this time? As this?
No, that's the fucking thing. And I think that legitimately they all were really, I think they all got pretty lit. Like we were, that was like the days of drinking really hard, I think.
Right.
And I think maybe I wasn't, because I was having a rough voice on the tour. So I was like, I better not get whatever. So we're screaming at each other, and the tour manager's like, I don't know what to do. And we're about to buck up, and we're like about to go that. And all of a sudden I say, I don't know why it just came to me. I think I just always wanted to say it. I go, you know what? If it wasn't for, he's like, fuck you and your motherfucking Texas. Fuck your Texas. And I go, if it wasn't for Texas, you'd be speaking German right now, which isn't really true. That's not exactly how that works.
Yeah.
Not really
a very American thing to say overseas.
Yeah, it was a little too American. But I think I just wanted to say something.
He started it, man. He
started it. And the other thing too is, like, man, I've talked a lot of shit about Texas. I probably talk a lot of shit about Texas now as well,
right?
Because his place is real fucked up, and there's a bunch of really shitty,
right?
Like maybe some of the most shitty stuff in this whole country goes on in Texas. That being said, don't talk about my little brother. You know, there's still like a weird little bit of like, yeah, but you know,
it's our homeland, man.
Hey, that's for me to talk shit about. Certainly no fucking horned up, horny person who fucking
needs a shave and a bath.
Can't even come when someone's yelling at him.
Is that? Are you saying you can only come when somebody's yelling at you?
Not only, but it helps.
Mm-hmm. Just imagine your mom screaming, "Hurry up, Michael!"
Well, not that. It's not that Oedipal.
I don't know why.
I like having someone yell at me about why the American democracy doesn't work.
That's right.
It has to be country related.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
America's kids are too obese. And oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Poor people have no access to health care.
Well, I guess what I'm surprised by, and I know I want to hit how this ends up, but just like many times we try to put ourselves in other people's shoes.
Right.
And I can imagine as a younger man, in a drunken situation with a lady who is also in the same drunken situation of the same mind, finding somewhere to rut. Thank you, Michael. But I can't imagine being that eager to find a place in that moment and having it take too terribly long, right? It's weird to me that this lasted long enough for you to go through all of these efforts.
Oh, there were multi emotions going back and forth, like a lot of really like I'm leaving out like getting up, like not even getting up, but just sitting up in my bed and just sitting there for a while to where like, you know, there's a lot of like, you know, like noises and movement and lots of things of like, well, if I shuffle around, this will make them go like, oh yeah, we'll go. And there's also there's a big fucking hall. Like go to the bar. That's way sexier. Knock off a couple bottles of Grolsch and throw her up there.
Oh yeah.
That's sexy.
That's a night you'll never forget. Yeah.
It's not sexy when you're in a room with a bunch of fucking snoring drunk Americans.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
If I have options of if I'm just like, I met this girl and I got to do it right now, and I got options, and the options are anything other than a room full of sleeping guys who've been on tour a week, or weeks. That my option is anywhere else.
The side of a dumpster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we're yelling at each other and screaming, and he's like, "We would be better off if we were speaking German than have fucking Texans come over here." And then I was just like, well, fuck you. I can't wait to get out of here. And we're screaming more and more. And she's trying to calm him down. He's like, nah. And then he was just like, you are a fucking asshole. You are a fucking asshole. Your band is great. I love your band, but you are a fucking asshole. And I was like, well, it's always nice to be a fan.
That's right.
It's always nice to meet a fan, man.
That's right. Can I sell you a record?
That was a weird head spinner. That's a weird, in an almost fight, to get a really sincere compliment, that'll throw you off pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it just doesn't process.
Do you think that there was in his mind much like you need to be screamed at about the failings of your country to climax? Do you think that part of this was being in the same room that y'all were in? Was that part of the deal? Was it at best making a story, at worst he's a doorman, and the reason he's a doorman is because he has to be in the room where bands are sleeping in order to achieve completion?
There is a documented clinical fetish to needing to be around C-level bands that got half a notice during the early aughts and the garage rock trend that lasted for 1 year.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
That had a small to moderate bit of buzz around them.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of, there's a lot of
the fact that he told you how much he loved your band.
Yeah, no, it was
weird.
Right.
It was, it was odd. And then he shuffled out, and then there was there were just weird noises right outside the hallway, and I believe we could not lock the door. So I stayed up all fucking night because I was afraid of getting punched while I was asleep.
Yeah.
And which obviously was that thing of like, I guess I wish I would have let you fuck in here. But I mean, he was for sure wasted, but he looked pretty drugged out and like pretty like, he looked like a real sketchy dude. Like there was like and I don't know. I don't know if that was because of like drugs and alcohol or just because he's Belgian. But lost a country, lost another country. But it was a thing
he lost
too.
Our only Belgian listener because it was that guy.
Nah, they're cool. He knows that's cool. A long time ago.
That guy was an outlier. And actually, I really did enjoy that country and that event. I remember that show being great.
Right, it's beautiful.
But Jean-Claude Van Damme's from there.
Mm-hmm. That's also, isn't that where Operation Market Garden took place and failed?
I think the initial Operation Farm to Market.
No, that's your military themed farmers market.
Yeah. It's like
that was in the Netherlands, Brian.
Like the Black Coffee Rifle Company.
Right.
Black Rifle Coffee
Market. That's right.
Yeah. We talked about Black Rifle Coffee.
We did.
I didn't want to get too into it, but Jesus Christ. But so and then I stayed up all night. It was, I mean, that trip home was one of the most tired I've ever been in my entire life because of.
Can you not sleep on planes?
Old slick britches.
Old slick britches.
No, I can't. I don't. I mean, sometimes if I'm crazy exhausted, I'll get like, a half hour in, and it's real gross. People take pictures of me sitting with my head back and my mouth wide open.
Like strangers or bandmates?
Strangers, and then they send me pictures with ejaculate on them, and they call it a cum tribute.
I think it's an episode that wraps up another week at the International News Service. Find us across social media at International News Pod. Email us at internationalnewspod@gmail.com. Hey, aliens, the next time you're out there bankrupting farmers by destroying thousands of pounds of wheat, why not throw in a little INS logo just to mix things up? Check out the INS merch store at Redbubble and our Patreon. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the International News Service. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. INS, the news you need.